Alright, what's up everybody? This is my first impressions of the XSR 900. So this is my new bike. I just bought it. I have never ridden it before. I've never ridden this engine before. I've heard a lot about it, of course, over the years. Very popular. But I've never ridden this bike. So yeah, I'm just letting it idle a little bit, and then I'm going to get going. Trying to test it out, see how it goes. I'm gonna take it easy. Brand new bike, brand new tires, break-in period, all that jazz. So no crazy stuff. You know. Anyway, it's gonna be rush hour pretty soon. Not gonna be a lot of opportunity for crazy stuff, but we're gonna see how this goes. So yeah, here we go. It's idled a minute or two. Nothing's on fire. Nothing smells bad. Nothing's leaking. Looks good. Here we go. Brand new. So, mode A. Probably not, huh? Let's go to mode. Oops, no, that's not it. Here's the mode button. Standard. I think standard is where we want to be for a first ride. TCS 2. Yeah, we'll start with 2. That's the most intrusive TCS mode with the standard throttle mapping. Should be okay. Let's get comfy on the seat. Pretty good. Okay, my feet don't quite flat foot, but I definitely, compared to my KTM, which is right there, there's my old bike. Goodbye, Mr. KTM. It was nice seeing you. Compared to that, I am way closer to the ground. Way easier. So, here we go. First shot. Don't stall it. That would be embarrassing. Okay. So far, so good. I'm not exactly sure how to get home from here, because I haven't been living in this area very long. But I'm going to kind of figure it out. My RAM mount didn't fit on here, so no GPS. The thing is too big. Well, the flasher's kind of interesting. All right. Okay. So there we go. That was... Didn't die. Excellent. Now I can turn right on red here, but there's traffic, so I might hang out for a while. Also, I'm not eager to try the throttle response quite yet, although it is in TC2. Probably won't die if I do it. Still, maybe after that truck. Oh, that clunks in with authority. Interesting. But Yamaha transmissions are always nice. Okay, here we go. No problem. Now my foot and the shifter are going to have to get used to each other because the spacing is different than what I had before. Okay, handles pretty nicely. Took off pretty easily, obviously. Very smooth engine. Super nice view of this dump truck or garbage truck or whatever this is. Man, it's low to the ground compared to my KTM. That is very weird. But I mean, it's what I expected, and it's one of the things I wanted. Honestly, I'm happy about that fact. I guess I'm gonna have to get a bigger ram ball mount if I want to mount it there. Honestly, the standard throttle mapping feels pretty nice. I'm definitely short shifting it a little bit here because, oh, I didn't set up my mirror on the right properly. The one on the left is good. I'm gonna fix that at the next time I stop. It's just pointed down, which is kind of dumb. Yeah, no, this feels pretty nice. Pretty nice. I've wanted this bike since I first saw it in 2016. You know, the first time that I saw reviews of it and stuff, I just loved the look. I never liked the kind of modern naked bike look. Those MT series bikes. The MT-07 looks fine. It's pretty natural, neutral looking. You know, nothing crazy, but the more extreme look of a lot of those naked bikes is something I just never got on with very well. The kind of edgy stuff. I mean, MT literally is like master of torque, and they like their marketing was like the dark side of Japan, and you know, that I think that appeals to a lot of people that also like Icon motorsports gear. No, I'm joking. I like Icon gear, actually. It is, some of it's really loudly branded, but I do like the gear. But no, that style as a whole is just not really for me. And this thing is like that kind of bike, but with the, you know, the more classic looks. So I like that. I think that's really cool. So I've always kind of been into it, but at the time I was a pretty new rider when this came out in 2016. I'd been riding like one season. I had an R3 back then, you know, wasn't going to go too crazy. Sorry, and this bike was too much, you know, for like, it wasn't something I was going to get. And when I eventually upgraded from the R3, I really was into sport bikes. I really wanted that full-fared sport bike, you know. So that in the end in Quebec is like kind of too expensive to really do properly, but I would love to pass this thing. But yeah, I finally decided to get it after all these years. But I definitely was on my radar. So one thing I'll note is that I was used to a quick shifter, and boy, you get used to that sort of thing. Yeah, there's no passing opportunity here. You get really used to having a quick shifter on downshift especially, so I'm going to have to kind of remember, although I didn't muff that first one too bad. And there is a slipper clutch on this, so if I really screw it up, well, it'll cover me. So that's cool. I'm also trying to remember the thing where you vary the RPMs and stuff, so although it's hard to not kind of stay between 3 and 4. Man, it definitely pulls. That's pretty cool. Even in like third gear at like 4,000 RPM, it starts pulling right away. There's no delay. That's pretty nice. I know everybody talks about that, how this engine has like this like flat torque curve, and it just feels, oh yeah, the front end becomes light right away. I'm in TC2. I don't want to pull up the front wheel just yet. I want to get used to the bike a little bit more before I start crap like that, you know. And I definitely but I definitely see how that would happen. I mean, that front end got light immediately. I'm used to a bike with a pretty big front wheel and heavy front end now, so it's been, like I said in my last video, I owned that KTM 790 Adventure for a little more than 2 years, and I rode it quite a lot in those 2 years, and I didn't really ride anything else. I rode my buddy's Honda CBR 650R once, around maybe for an hour on some nice twisties, and it was pretty different, but I rode it with like these like big ADV boots on because that's what I was wearing, and like my foot didn't even fit under the shifter, and it was the whole thing. Oh, thank God this guy is turning. I don't know if I should be turning here. I don't think this is the turn, but even if it was, I'm just gonna let this truck go because I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm just gonna go around and get lost, and that's just life, because this thing is awful to follow. Can't see past it. It just drives me nuts. No, that wasn't my turn off, I'm pretty sure anyway, so there you go. So yeah, this thing is good. A lot of people say the throttle response is really jerky, the on-off. I don't know, maybe it's because the last couple of bikes I had were all like that, but it doesn't feel particularly bad. They have also, a lot of people said the XSR is improved over the older generation MTs for that mapping, so I don't know. It's tolerable. Definitely, I don't feel any really jerky mapping or anything. It's not super noticeable. I like the feeling of this engine. Oh man, I hear a lot of induction sound from where I'm sitting, and it sounds pretty good. I'm gonna have to go through the menus later because right now all I see is the time, the not super fuel gauge, the RPMs, my gear, and my speed. And the modes and TCS and stuff, but I think that I could have the odometers and all that other good shit. So yeah, gonna have to get that on. Oh yeah, man, it feels nice. All right, I'm gonna try to fix this mirror. I think like a bee or some heavy bug just hit my helmet because it made a pretty loud thwack. I don't know if the mic will pick that up. Probably not, but it was kind of a loud one. Oh yeah, I mean, it gets light. It pushes you back. Like, this thing is great, and I'm going easy. I'm going up. I'm turning less than like probably a quarter throttle at a time. I'm not going hard, and I'm in standard mode on top of that. So it's pretty good. I mean, it feels sporty. It's not too rigid. The road here is actually pretty smooth for a Quebec country road on the North Shore with all these big trucks going down it. So we'll see when I hit some really crappy stuff what it feels like. But It doesn't feel overly bumpy or harsh or anything, so that feels good. No, so far I gotta say I'm pretty happy with the feeling of this. Feels nice. The clutch pull is really nice and light. I haven't really got on the brakes yet because I haven't really had to stop. But we'll see what those feel like. I'm not going to hammer them. You know, you want those to beat in a little bit first there to get roughed up by the the pad contact with the rotor before you really slam on it, if you can avoid it. I mean, if I have to slam on it, I obviously will. I'm not going to crash into something to save my brake pads, but you know, I'm going to try to be a little easier on it if I can. It sounds pretty good. People say this bike sounds like a sewing machine, but I don't know. Sounds okay to me. I'm coming off a parallel twin, so maybe that's why. Triple definitely, to my ears, the triple sounds better than a parallel twin. Everyone's got this a very, you know, I recognize how subjective that sort of thing is. I get it. But for me personally, I would say that I really like this sound. But I already knew that going in that would be the case. I mean, of course I was going to like this sound better. So okay, I guess I could turn here and then get to a town that I'm sort of familiar with. The blinker switch is small, which is definitely something to consider for me. I'm going to have to get used to not screwing that up. Okay, so we're going to go through more like a town scenario here, so we'll see what this is like. Get my foot down, and it's really... Oh, and I'm going to fix this mirror while I'm at it. All right, here. Oh, it doesn't... Okay, that's not bad. Oh, no, it's still not right. Okay, I got to bring it in a little. Next stop sign. Speed bump? Oh, that wasn't so bad. It's smooth. It doesn't engine brake very hard. Even like in second gear, it wasn't like vicious. That's kind of nice, so you can like kind of slow down in this kind of stuff. Okay, it needs to come in just a hair. Gonna hold there? Yeah, okay, let's try that. All right, here we go. Yeah, good sound, good feel. Another speed bump. Try that suspension again. It's kind of a weird speed bump. It's not really a speed bump, it's just like a... Yeah, it feels nice. Little mini bike there. It said Honda on it. I don't really know my way around mini bikes, to be honest. Okay, this looks kind of like the edge of like a new development in town. We got like our condos and our townhouses, very popular now. This is all they're building. And then it's kind of going to exit. We'll leave it in second and give her a little, give the throttle a little yank. I suspect that the speed limit is, oh yeah, let's hit the crappy part of the road. It's not so bad. It's bumpy, but it's not jarring. Oh man, I'm already at 50. I wanted to like pull it pretty hard here. Okay. Okay, that's TC2. I didn't go hard enough to get it to cut out, but whoa, yeah, this thing goes. That is great. Yeah, it definitely pulls. That is excellent. I really like that feeling. So I'm gonna ride this thing home. Hey, what's up everybody? I realized that I kind of ended that video on what turns out not really to be an ending, so I thought I'd shoot a little wrap up in here in the garage next to the bike. I gotta say that I am really happy. So it's a few days later. I've done about 200 kilometers on the bike. I've pretty much emptied the first tank of gas. I'm gonna go fill it up in a bit, ride some more. But the braking is well underway. And yeah, everything has been really great. I've had a really good time so far. I've played around, you know, the traction control modes and the power modes, and I adjusted the brake lever a little bit in so that it has a better feel for me. But I'm really happy. The riding position took, you know, an hour or two to get used to, as it always does on a new bike. But now that I'm used to it, I felt like the front was so much lower than my old bike, and it was a little weird at first. But now that I'm used to it, I actually really like it. It has a really cool, like, kind of sporty feel to it without being uncomfortable the way a super sport might be. So yeah, it's super. So just want to say thanks for watching, and I hope we'll see you in the next video. We're going to do some mods to this bike, so that's maybe going to be next, or maybe some riding. We'll see how it goes. Depends on the weather, I guess. So thanks again for watching, and see you next time. Peace.